Epic Games recently sent Fortnite streamer Ninja a care package filled with gamer goodies all themed around everyone's favorite undersea pineapple resident, SpongeBob SquarePants. And while most people think this is probably just to promote the new SpongeBob Tycoon map that was recently added to the game, there are a lot of people out there hoping that maybe there's just a little bit more to this than just that. I mean, are enough people excited about a SpongeBob creative map that it warrants sending a bunch of gifts over to Ninja in hopes that him showing them off on his stream will get people to play that mode? I don't know about you guys, but if we're talking about having SpongeBob in Fortnite, I want to go all the way. I'm talking SpongeBob skins, pickaxes, back blings, emotes. I want it all. And it's not like Nickelodeon and Epic haven't already worked in the past to bring us some pretty cool collabs like all of the Avatar stuff and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So what I want to do today is give you guys my ideas for what a full SpongeBob collab in Fortnite might possibly look like. Because I feel like with some of the other cartoon collabs like Peter Griffin and Beavis and Butthead, where they've taken their original designs and modified them in a way so that they will work within Fortnite, I think there could be a decent chance that maybe one day some form of SpongeBob and a few of his friends could actually end up in the game. So let's get to it then. Which SpongeBob characters would make for the best Fortnite skins? Now, I think we do need to note that SpongeBob's designs are very cartoony, and if left as they are, probably wouldn't work in the game, so there's gonna have to be some compromises made. I think the best solution to this problem would be to use their superhero designs from the movie SpongeBob SquarePants Sponge Out of Water, because those look more human-like, and they would probably fit the hitboxes very well. They might have to tweak the proportions just a little bit, but I think going just off of these designs, you could easily take those versions of SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward and add them to the game. They could possibly give them alt styles that look more like their usual designs in the show, because I mean, if they gave us Darth Jar Jar Binks, then this should be plenty doable. Now, what about back blings? Well, I came up with a pretty easy one, but it's just using their houses as a back bling and just letting them float off of their backs. It's a pretty simple idea, but I'm not a big fan of back blings that just hang off of your back like magic, so even if they did use those, I probably would never wear those. I do think that Gary would make for a pretty good back bling. I mean, we've seen him ride on top of characters' heads and on their backs in the show, so I think he would fit in just perfectly in that role. You could also just make him an emote where he just sort of pops up and crawls around you for a bit meowing, but there's also a lot of potential there if this companions feature ever finally rolls out. We keep hearing that the companions thing is coming, and I'm assuming it's still on the table, but until then, it's not here, so all we can do is just throw ideas out there for what they're gonna do with it. Now let's talk pickaxes, and actually, this was a pretty easy one to figure out. SpongeBob's would be his trusty spatula from the Krusty Krab, Patrick's would be a jellyfishing net, and Squidward's clarinet would be perfect for his pickaxe. There's also the option of giving SpongeBob his karate gloves as a pickaxe, because we've actually seen in the show all three of those characters using those gloves at some point. Alright, so we've got plenty of choices for pickaxes, but what about gliders? I really like this one I came up with for SpongeBob, because I think the best possible glider for him would be the hydrodynamic spatula from the pilot episode. Now, it's very rare that Epic actually creates any new animations for gliders, but maybe they would feel that SpongeBob is special enough to deserve one, especially if he's gonna hold on to the hydrodynamic spatula the same way he did in the show. I would even take them just using the same animations they use for the victory umbrellas, just so long as SpongeBob gets to ride into battle on that specific spatula. Now, I'm sitting here thinking about potential Patrick gliders, and one literally just popped into my head that I think would be really funny. In the Season 1 episode Bubble Stand, SpongeBob blows Patrick a gigantic elephant bubble, but the funny part about that is that Patrick thinks it's a giraffe. I think it would be hilarious if Patrick rode down to the island on that elephant bubble, and you couldn't do the joke justice without actually calling the glider the giraffe, so I think we just go for the funny on this one. Now for Squidward I have two ideas, and the one that I'm the least interested in would be if they used his clarinet again, this time instead as a glider. But we have seen gliders in the past that were made out of paintings, and so since Squidward's a big painter, I think it would be perfect if his glider was old, bold, and brash. That's one of Squidward's most famous, or maybe infamous, pieces of art from the show, and so it's gotta make its way into the game somehow, and I think this would be the best way to use that. Now we're finally at the emotes, and let's be honest here, there are so many different ideas they could pull from this show. Imagine you're in a Fortnite lobby.
David, are you drunk?
And you're surrounded by different players, all doing an emote of SpongeBob's voice, where they're running around in circles going, "I'm ready, I'm ready." That would be really aggravating after a while, but pretty amusing too. The fun song would make for a pretty cute emote, where you could have the letters FUN drop down and you catch them in a way that spells out the word. Maybe one of the most obvious ideas would be to make a jellyfishing emote, where a character holds up a jellyfishing net and catches jellyfish as they swim by, maybe with the rare chance every once in a while that you actually get stung by one of them. But what about the possibility of a Krusty Krab pizza emote, where the character walks backwards while carrying a pizza box and doing that famous SpongeBob booty shake? I mean, they're probably gonna have to ban the Chun-Li skin if they actually make an emote like that, because I know what some of you are gonna do the second that emote drops. Now, I have one more for you guys, and I honestly think it has the potential to be one of the greatest emotes ever. The Invisible Boatmobile. Do I even have to explain why an emote like that would be one of the funniest things ever? I mean, if I gotta spell that one out for you, then why are you even playing this game? And there you go, those are my ideas for a SpongeBob Fortnite collab, with the only thing missing would be emoticons or sprays, and you could just insert any old SpongeBob meme into those. The big question, of course, is would Nickelodeon and Epic actually want to bring SpongeBob into the game this way? And the answer, I think, is maybe? I think with the fact that we have Adventure Time and Bob's Burgers and King of the Hill in Fortnite right now is a sign that people do want to see more regular cartoon characters in the game. And with SpongeBob being as iconic as it is, I think there's a real good chance that there's some money to be made here. And for me personally, as a gigantic SpongeBob fan, I don't want to see his involvement in the game limited to just solely creative maps. And I think that the day that SpongeBob actually does drop into Fortnite, it could very well be one of this game's best days ever. But what do you guys think? How would you guys feel if we ever did get a Fortnite and SpongeBob collaboration of this nature? Are there any other cartoons you would like to see collaborate with Fortnite in the future? Let me know in the comments some of your favorites. Thanks for watching this video, I really appreciate it. If you want to support my channel, then be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Now, I'm going to encourage Nickelodeon to reach out and make a deal with Marvel, because if we ever do get Fortnite SpongeBob skins, then I need Psylocke Sandy to be real.